All right, so going live, going live, going live. I know I said it for Monday, but I'm not sure why. All right, there we go. I think we's live over on YouTube as well. We live over here on TikTok. Let me go ahead and send out some of my invites here. Let me get some of the peoples in here. Sorry if I'm sending you an invite and you're already here. I'm not going through the list. I'm just sending out a bunch of invites right now. So if you got the invite and you're already here, my bad. There's the man right there. Let me go ahead and bring him up with me. So, hey.
Salam, I'ma see, brother Chris Klaus, man. You waxed that boy pretty good. You waxed
Salam. You got Logic over here. Let me go.
I didn't watch the first half because I was over with JP's debate. He was, he debated what's his name. And then he called me up to go on stage with him for a little while. So that's why I missed the first half of your debate. But I'm going to go back and rewatch the first half. But the second half was brutal. I don't even know if I should go back and watch the first half because the second half was just brutal.
Man, hey, I think it was hilarious. So I put through a pretty solid opening statement, I felt. Oh, and Holy says hi to you, the word and I, from YouTube.
What's up, Holy? Everybody on YouTube, everybody. I know Alyssa probably hanging around now.
Yeah, Lisa's over here. Holy, we got Antoine. We got a few people rolling in now. I kind of set it up for Monday, and then I went live now. I set it up for the wrong day, so people will start catching it, and they'll start rolling in eventually. But yeah, so tonight I had a debate with a Hebrew Israelite. His name was Zechariah. He's a decent guy. I don't think that I'm not gonna say anything bad about him personally. But the arguments that he was using, it was bad. It was bad. The topic was, is Jesus the Most High God? And we had that debate over on Marlon's channel, The Gospel Truth. That was fun, though. I had to set a precedence, though. I had to set a precedence for him, man. I had to make him an example, though. Like to that camp, I had to let them know that we Trinitarians, we original chronology Christians, we ain't playing around over here. We ain't playing around.
That's right, brother Chris gave him that BTA belt to. You know the rest.
It was belt to yes, that's what it was. Oh, I think we have another. Oh, we got somebody wanting to come up here anyway. Let's peel.
Can you hear me?
Hey, what's going on? I don't even know your name.
Plus sign.
A lot of people just call me Star. I just have like a crosshair as my name.
Oh, is
But
this Gumbo?
no, this isn't Gumbo. A lot of people say I sound like Gumbo, but I'm not.
That's Gumbo.
I swear it's not, bro. I promise you, Gumbo doesn't talk like I talk, bro.
You sound just like him, bro.
I'm telling you, bro. Like God is my witness. I'm not Gumbo, bro.
What you believe in?
Well, I'm a Trinitarian. I want to know what model of Trinity you guys hold to, because I believe that every other model other than mine is going to be illogical.
Every other model self. Which one? Monarchical?
Outside of the Thomistic model is going to be illogical.
Like, I know monarchical. I know. What is that? I think that's Gumbo, bro.
Yeah, I'm dropping them. We're not up here to debate what Trinitarians are this, what Trinitarians are that. If you want to get into a philosophical discussion on Trinitarianism, which Trinitarianism is true, or whatever else, you can go to a different live and do that. But on my live, it actually says that Jesus is God, Jesus is not the Father. Jesus is not Muslim. The Trinity is true. Request if you disagree. It doesn't say like we need to debate which Trinitarians are true. So instead of coming up and trying to take the topic off the topic that I have on the screen, I'm reserving this for people that deny that Jesus is God, or that say he is the Father, or say that he is a Muslim. What up, Mr. DJ Roll?
DJ Roll.
Let's go. I'm Chris and we're how's it guys? How are you guys doing?
God bless you, man. I'm good. You?
Not too bad. Hey, great job, Chris. Man, that was an easy dub, no doubt, in your debate. Man, I came in like at his cross exam, but man, the way his cross exam was going, I was like, he was just slow and didn't have things prepared. And you actually have to, like, in a debate, it's actually a skill to have some like enthusiasm and like being prepared. Like you can't just like talk slow and talk like you don't know what you're talking about. Like you actually have to flow smoothly in the debate to sound good and to be convincing. So man, he was not good at this, man. So I can't wait to watch the rest of it. But man, he was yeah, he was not good.
Debate, huh? I think that had to be his first like formal.
Yeah.
Had to have been.
God bless everybody.
Hey, God bless Sister Alley Cat. Now, I know that you may not have wanted to come up and talk about the topic, but I know that you have a very important announcement that you wanted to announce. I've heard this a few times on a few different lives, but I am live on TikTok and YT. So people on YT and TikTok will be able to hear your announcement. Go ahead and have it, sister.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, I am hosting which hopefully it'll turn into a silent walk, but January 24th in Austin, Texas, I will be passing out 10,000 flyers of missing children. Those of you that know me, a lot of you don't. I advocate for missing and exploited children. The numbers are way too high, you guys. 400,000 children go missing every year in the United States, Texas being the #1 state for missing children. 31,000 kids a year in just Texas alone. This has got to stop. We have to be a voice for the voiceless and stand in the gap for every missing child. I have some posters that I made, kind of flyers, I guess. Brothers and sisters here on TikTok, please, I just urge you to just share it out. Anything, I mean, helps. We have so many kids that are on my platform. I posted like 15 kids I have to post tonight. 15 more missing children. Every time they find 2 kids, 10 more go at missing. And so if you guys please could just share the flyer. If you're in Texas and you're able to join me, please come join me. I would love to have you there. I do have some t-shirts that say Shield of Voice, Save the Children. And so if you show up and you're there with me, I will give you a t-shirt. Hopefully we can get enough people together. I need hands. I mean, it's hard to pass out 10,000 flyers. October 5th, I went down into Bourbon Street and did it with 7,000 flyers in the rain. And it took me 6 hours to do it. So if anybody is in Texas, Austin, Texas, near Austin, Texas, and you want to come out, I'm setting up right in front of the state capitol building, downtown Austin. And I will be passing out 10,000 flyers of missing kids. God bless you all. Please share my flyer and thank you so much.
No problem, Sister Alley Cat. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. And for some of the people that may not know Sister Alley Cat, I think you do. Sister Alley Cat was the Muslim lady that Christ came to, and she opened her heart and allowed the Holy Spirit in and became a child of God and is now a Christian. And after becoming a Christian, what she wants to do is to show her love for Christ is by doing what she's doing for these children. It's been placed upon her heart to be able to do this. So if anybody is in the area Again, what day is this again, Sister Allie?
This is going to be on January 24th, Austin, Texas. So I didn't want to do this. I literally just had a word from the Holy Spirit. It told me to search. I had no idea what I was searching for. I even argued with God. I'm like, what are you telling me here? I don't quite understand. And I heard it again, search. And when I sat down at my laptop and I just typed in, because it was like a Rolodex of kids went through my mind, and I'm like fighting with God, like, you got to be kidding me, right? Like, I can't do this. What are you telling me to do? But let me tell you something. When the Lord places something on your table, he will open every single door in front of you that the enemy tries to close. And there is nothing that can stop this mission. I will never be quiet about this. Not enough people are talking about this. It is the biggest epidemic worldwide. How do we lose 500,000 kids?
No, I agree, sister. I agree.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I didn't know it was that high.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, sister, for coming up. And
God bless you, brother. Thank you so much for just giving me a moment. I'm gonna let you get back to stir frying.
No problem, sister. And also, can you send me the link that you have? I believe it's your PayPal that you're using for people to be able to donate for this cause.
Yeah, absolutely. God, that would be a huge blessing. Absolutely. I do. I have it posted also in my bio. If anybody feels led to donate, all receipts are given. So
What I'll do is I'll take the PayPal and I'll post it on my YT channel after the live here, and anybody over on YT that has it placed upon their heart to be able to help this dear sister and what she's doing, the link will be there for you to be able to do that.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, that'd be a blessing. Thank you, brother, so much.
No problem. God bless, sister. Have a wonderful night.
God bless you too. God bless you all so much.
God bless you.
Bless you, sister.
Awesome work.
So yeah, so in the debate that we had though, is what I wanted to do and what I established in my opening statement is that in the Old Testament, certain things were attributed to Yahweh the Most High. And in the New Testament, these writers attribute those same things to Jesus. So either you have two gods, two saviors, two people that you're bowing your knee and confessing your tongue and whatnot to, or you have one. And that's where he actually agreed that Jesus is a God. Man, it was bad for him.
Yeah, I like how you kept pointing out he's a polytheist on that point. It was and he kept affirming it too. He was like, well, Paul says, well, for us there is many gods. Like he was quoting the scripture wrong, but he's straight up admitting that he's a polytheist. And the way you answered Colossians 1, he was not expecting it. He was just expecting you to go to, Psalm 89, where David is called the firstborn. But you kept it in context. And I mean, you can go to Psalm 89, talk about David being the firstborn, and that's a point for us. But he wasn't even like addressing what you were saying in regards to Colossians 1:15. So that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, this guy, man, he's slow and he can't keep up. Yeah, it was an easy dub.
So if y'all can tap the screen, I'm getting restrictions for 10 minutes. They're restricting my live for 10 minutes. So we can get those taps in there, y'all. Let's get me up to about 10, 15, 20K, and those will stop coming in, all right? So let's get them taps in there.
Amen. By the way, real quick. By the way, Chris, I got a bone to pick with you. I heard you're trying to volunteer me for debates.
But what he wants to debate is Daniel 2.
Who?
Who other, like who else in
Central?
Yeah, but who in the group? The man.
Oh man.
Would just think about it. What would you do to Central on Daniel 2? Honestly,
I don't know. I haven't studied as much as others, so it's And plus, there's like no upside for him to debate me, like since I'm a nobody. So that was just kind of funny to hear that you're volunteering me for debates.
Yeah, you. Some people may not know who you are, but we know who you are. I've seen you do this many times in Clubhouse. It's time for you to start speaking up over here on TikTok like you did Clubhouse.
Oh man, that's funny.
It's almost time, DJ. It's almost time, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, Constantine?
Hey, how are you, brother? Actually, I came up to talk to either you or the Word and I, and DJ, this is my first time meeting you, but I hear good things. I'd like to become more familiar with the Injil argument, and I'm just wondering if you could walk me through it.
The Islamic dilemma argument?
Yeah, excuse me, the Islamic dilemma argument.
Okay. Did you want to take this word or?
I mean, what do you know about it now? Like,
Right. So this is my are we to take it to be the case that he is referring specifically to the Old Testament, Torah, Tanakh, or Law and Prophets, or is this also inclusive of the New Covenant Gospels?
yeah, it's the whole Bible. But I think where people miss this little key point in it, we know that it's contradicting it. It's contradicting it. So we don't actually believe that the Quran is actually, quoting our Bible all the way through and through.
Right, I get that. It's a grant. We're granting the argument for sake, right?
Right. This is the claim that the Quran makes.
Yes.
So internally, they can't produce anything else but our Bible.
Okay.
So in the 7th century, when Muhammad is getting told, like 1094, go back to the people that was reading the scriptures before you, this and that, and he uses the terms Torah and gospel.
Okay, so he specifically makes an inclusive remark to refer to the biographies of Christ.
Yes, the Torah and the gospel, right? The Injil, they call it the Injil, but the thing is, it contradicts the Injil.
Right, so what does Injil mean in that native language?
Injil means evangelion, the good news.
Okay, so that's how they say evangelion. So what they're saying is gospels.
Yeah, the good news.
Okay. So when you're asking what's the Injil, you're asking them what is the evangelion? What's the good news?
Yes, because it was only known by this name was the 4 Gospels. That's the only thing in human history ever.
That's yes, of course. So, okay, that makes sense. So,
right. But it's also they a lot of them try to deny it's our Gospels. So when we ask what is the Injil, we're making them bring their evidence of what Injil they have. So
right.
There's a lot of Muslims who deny history. So if you want to deny we have the Injil, you have to bring your Injil to match it, since you say we don't have it.
And in the chats, thank you, Christian Crusader. That's very kind of you. So yeah, what are the so the Word and I and DJ and Chris calls you too. So what are these common objections? What are the and okay, so let me just give you the reason that I'm asking. So as of recent, my shift is actually by force is having to deviate from typical atheist lives to this campaign that I'm seeing in an uprising of this Dawa tribe. And so everywhere I go, there seems to be one that wants to follow in. And so I just, so by force or by necessity, I need to become more familiar with this argument. And this one seems to be the most common, and I haven't seen a lot of answers on the Islamic side. And so I guess what I want to understand is, what are their common objections and what are their refutations to the argument of the Islamic dilemma?
Yeah, so one of the common objections that you would see, and actually we had a group of Muslims actually debating both views last night on a live. It actually got recorded and sent to me. So let's just say,
where was this at? I think I saw it.
Yeah, so it was Yemeni and Dawa Verdunya against Leafy and Dean Responds and Libiano.
Okay.
Libiano, Dean Responds, and Leafy would take the understanding that the Quran is doing a general confirmation and consciously editing what they believe what the author believe is wrong or corrupted in the previous scripture into the Quran. So there's this conscious edits argument that they will use. So that's one of the arguments. The other argument.
Okay, so let me just stillman this, if that's okay with you, Chris. I don't mean to interrupt you. Okay,
Yeah,
so basically, the Word and I are having this conversation, and I'm predicating my argument on what the Injil is and the Islamic dilemma. And so what the Word and I is going to say, if he's devil's advocate and he's assisting the negative, he's just going to say, hey, look, this is an edited version. This isn't speaking of the same corrupted one you use. This is something completely different. But then my question would become not what the Injil is, but where. Where is the Injil? Would that be the next follow-on question?
Yeah. So, and that's where they would use the general confirmation. So they would say that they generally confirm the Injil is in the New Testament, and they would generally confirm the Torah in the Old Testament. But there's an issue with that. The
Okay.
issue with that is how they define general confirmation. And this is the first question I asked them. Well, what is the definition of general confirmation that you're using? And the definition that they will give you is whatever agrees with the Quran, then they will accept as being original, and whatever disagrees with the Quran, they believe is corrupted.
So it's a bit circular in fashion.
To me,
Also,
it's confirmation bias, right?
Right. So it's true because the Quran says it's true, basically. So this is a fallacious or vicious circularity within the argument.
Yeah, and it's not an actual general confirmation. They're trying to say general confirmation.
Maybe a confirmation bias.
Confirmation bias.
Yes.
Because they know confirmation bias is a logical fallacy, so they try to change the word.
Okay, so there's a manipulation of the semantic in order to avoid the term confirmation bias. We're just going to say, okay, this is a general confirmation. So hey, listen, I'm just simply going to say that this is an edited version. But again,
Yes.
My question would be, okay, what source documents do we have for this edited version? Where are the manuscripts? Is that not an appropriate question?
no, that's exactly where you'll go to because they don't have it.
Okay, so in other words, it's just mystery, right? So if I have let's say I have over 5,800 source documents or fragmentary manuscript copies within the catalogs that are all alluding to some sort of custodialship from the 1st century within an apostolic a succession of chain, right? I have something to show, even if it's fragment. Now, is there any sleight of hand fragment? Is there any like a P50 something or?
They don't have nothing. They can't present, and they'll tell you now we don't have it's either lost or it was there in the 7th century, but a few people read it, but we don't have it no more.
Okay, so the position is this officially. So and this sounds I can't believe this is actually okay, so they're going to say, I mean, it can't be this easy. Hold on a second. That it's in the 7th century. We had this true, unadulterated, uncorrupted copy of what the Gospels are supposed to be. And what you have and all the copies in the manuscript data that you've collected over time, that's not it.
That's
that's John Fontaine's.
Yeah.
Right, that's John Fontaine's position. That's the other side. But if we were sticking with Dean Respon's position, they would say, the Injil is found in our New Testament, if we're sticking with that. But Word is right in saying, that's the other position that the other Muslims hold. Because they know, like John Fontaine's position is there's a mystery Injil that was perfectly preserved, and a mystery Torah that was perfectly preserved in the 7th century Medina, but then it got lost. And so because the Quran teaches that none can change the words of Allah, and that it's confirming the whole thing, according to chapter 2, verse 85 of the Quran, he's trying to be faithful with the Quran, but now it's lost, and we don't have any evidence of it.
So it's just like a dog ate my homework type of thing.
Yeah. But in Dean Respon's position, it's generally confirming, our New Testament And so, but it's only picking out what agrees with the Quran, as Chris said earlier.
Even though they're going to argue, even though Matthew and Mark and Luke, John, they're not the Injil. They're not the original Injil. But within it, you can find
Traces
of the original Injil.
Okay.
But you still got to ask them, well, where is this original Injil? So we can.
So that can't. I'm just going to say, when I see something that's too good to be true, you know, Word and I, and like I said, I just got to, that can't be. I mean, that's
it.
There has to be another argument that they have to defend this.
That's it.
You know what they'll reference? Yep, that's it. They'll try to say the Q gospel in general.
Okay, so the Q source, so they're going to appeal to Q.
Everyone.
Yeah, but even then they'll cherry pick out from there because we brought up the Q and, like, you know, Matthew 11, 27, 28, you know, the son knows the father knows the son. They'll say, that part is probably corrupted. Like,
Okay.
So, yeah.
So I guess Q source would be a better, if they said, yeah, well, we're definitely committed to Q, and, you know, this is default Injil, and it would be one singular biography of Christ. So it wouldn't be a gospel according to. It would be just the straight up a evangelion. We call it the Injil, and it has been perfectly preserved. But oh, hey, it's lost. But it could be Q.
But the problem is Q still pulls from our Q still needs our Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John.
Yeah. Q still okay, great.
You know what I'm saying? So either way, even they doing that, you still confirming pretty much our gospels, even if you use Q. But then this is what makes it a dilemma. You can even grant that it's corrupt. Okay, it's all corrupt, but your Quran is still confirming. Now you have a true dilemma. So if your Quran is confirming corrupted scriptures, then that makes your Quran false.
So you have a legitimate P and not P.
Yes. Now you just, either way you go, you can grant them either way. Okay, it's not that, but if it's corrupt, then your Quran is still false because it's confirming corrupted scriptures.
Okay, so that's a bar none, hands down, straight up Aristotelian contradiction, P and not P, all day long.
Yeah, that's why it's called the dilemma.
Okay, so that's why we. So this is a true. Okay, now that makes sense. All right, now are there? So it's Q, it's lost, it's a dog ate my homework. What are some other ones? Because I'm sure that there's something else that they can.
Conscious edits that the Quran is consciously editing the previous scriptures. The Quranic author knew what was in the previous scriptures, and now he's consciously, purposefully editing the previous scriptures.
Okay, so this is a new one. This is the other rebuttal.
But this is even, that even makes it worse, because now you're saying that your God purposely created this dilemma.
Right.
And then on top of that, you don't edit something that you don't even think was yours. You know what if you edit something, like if I was the editor in chief at a newspaper, you bring me your article, I edit it, that's your article. I give it back to you, but that still was the intention of, this was the original one that I had. So I edited your original version and just made it better.
Right.
But that means if Allah is consciously editing these previous scriptures, then initially he thought that these previous scriptures was his, that he had authority to edit it. So it don't make it worse. I mean, it don't make it better. It actually makes it worse.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a couple verses. I mean, there's a bunch of verses in regards to this, but I mean, chapter 5, verse 43, it says, why did they come to you, Muhammad? Talking about the Jews. Why did the Jews come to you, Muhammad, when they have the Torah with them? So they're supposed to judge by the Torah, not go to Muhammad. And then they got chapter 5, verse 68 in the Quran, saying that the Christians, 547, the Christians and the Jews are supposed to judge by what they have with them at the time of Muhammad.
So how many texts do they have that specifically mentions this term Injil, which is equivalent to Evangelion?
Well, it's all over the Quran, but I'm thinking if we narrow it down, at least 18 times it speaks fondly and says it's confirming these previous scriptures at least 18 times in 18.
So this isn't an isolated like Acts 2:38 sort of
No,
mermaid
it's
text.
all over.
This is one of those. Oh
It's
wow!
all over the Quran. 18
Oh, yeah.
times it confirms the previous scriptures.
Oh my goodness! I had no idea. Man, I got to start studying up on this.
Thing is, this is another key point that they'll try to bring up to you. 548 says the Muhaymin means that it is the authority over the previous scriptures, but Muhaymin don't mean authority, it just means guardian. It means that the Quran is supposed to be the guardian over the previous scriptures.
Like a protector?
Yeah, like a protector, right? But they will try to tell you that it means criterion over the previous scriptures.
Okay.
Right. It's some verses, you know, that they try to finagle around and try to get around, but everything ends up collapsing. Like it ends up collapsing on itself. There's no way,
Because like you said, it's a true dilemma.
It's a true dilemma. It's a true dilemma.
Okay. Well, listen, gentlemen, I think the best thing to do is just to read up on this and just keep watching. And I guess gear more attention toward this argument. And I think the best way to do that is listening to it. For me, is listen to it be debated. And I think there's plenty of material or content and media for that.
Oh yeah, go God Logic. Go to his channel. I mean,
Right.
Go to David Wood and debated it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we debate it all the time on these streams. I got them up on my YouTube channel. You can go look. Like it's everywhere. Like you won't be short on material.
Yeah, Giant DOC, inspiring philosophy. He did a video, and I think I've seen you around, Constantine. Like you're pretty good with philosophy. Inspiring philosophy. Like he did a video. His buddy Fan did a Bayesian argument for us.
Oh, he did a Bayesian epistemology. Wow. Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, my background formally is not in philosophy or metaphysics. It's in New Testament studies, textual criticism, and Koine Greek. So I just sort of picked up philosophy as I went along. But any accolades that I have in the academic sense are based in New Testament studies.
That's cool, man.
Hey, since that's what you're studying in, if you could you go to my channel? It's called One Way Apologetics. On my
YouTube?
podcast, on YouTube, and on the podcast part, I have a 4-part series titled "Introduction to Textual Criticism."
Oh, nice.
If you can go through that and maybe give me some pointers or anything else like that, or maybe even take that, even make a video explaining some things that I may not have went to in detail.
Are you dealing with Are you dealing with the catalog?
You'll see.
Okay.
I go through textual variants. I go through the manuscript history, the families. I identified each one of them and whatnot. So I just basically let Christians know that the Bible that they have today comes from a group of family manuscripts that we can date back, of course, right?
Are you Christian, Constantine?
Oh, yes, of course.
Oh, okay. Just one.
We had somebody vouch, Christian Crusader vouched for him in the chat, said that he was cooking halal Christian a few days ago. So
yeah, I've seen some clips. Yeah, I saw some clips of you cooking on John 1, and then some philosophy. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a follow. I need to check out some of your content.
Yeah, please do. And the Lord and I have been watching you guys for a while. And again, we operate in 2 different fields of the kingdom. I know the Lord has his hand on you with the demonia of Islam, and I've dealt with the non-believers for a small amount of time, but I've didn't particularly feel a need to shift my focus until I think it was because I felt a little bit targeted. So there was kind of following, you know what I mean? So it's like, well, God, I guess I need this, maybe I need to start debating Islam.
You know what made me do it, Constantine? I didn't get to start talking about Islam and debating Islam. When I first started opening up, I was just talking about straight Christianity, probably like on what you do. And then I got nothing but Muslims coming up and started just saying crazy stuff, and you know what I'm saying, and attacking. I was like, I'm tired of being on the defensive. I'm gonna learn what they believe in and see how I can, refute them on what they believe in. So it definitely will push you in that direction, because that's not what I intended on doing from the very beginning. That's what I do now most of the time because they push me into this ring. Not
Yeah, definitely. I do feel there's a necessary push. And so, yeah, listen, guys, thank you for the communion, the fellowship. Like I said, the hand of the Lord is on you, Word and I. And DJ, I think it would be most beneficial if you were to help us in this insidious ring of TikTok where, it is the algorithm is geared towards an anti-God ideology. And so your days of Clubhouse have come to an end. And I think it's perhaps time that you
I've been trying to tell DJ for about a year and a half now.
listen, I don't know what you're still doing over there. It's like you're the only one left in the Clubhouse. Why don't you just come over here?
Wait, were you on Clubhouse?
No, I've seen some old clips.
Okay.
Yeah, and so and it's been it's been a while, but now that I hear the voice and I remember the DJ name, so yeah. Yeah, the more we have in this space, the better, because there is an ideology which has an algorithm geared to an insidious cesspool of sin and deprivation, which is completely geared against everything that we stand for. So my hat is off, and my prayers are to anyone who stands willing to defend the cross in such a dark space like the app. And so the more that we have, the better, because we're saturated with demonia here.
Yeah.
True.
You heard that, DJ?
Man. Hey, I come up to support the
two or
brothers.
three witnesses come together, establish truth.
I was going to say, by the mouth of two witnesses, and then what Jesus said
I mean, listen, DJ. I mean, I go. We go into rooms and get dogpiled about 4 and 5 at a time. So you're. I'll tell you this: your rhetoric game might need to sharpen because you're now going to deal with trolls. So I don't know how much experience you have in little demon trolls, but they will manifest in your chat, in your comments, in your DMs. They'll stalk. It's crazy, man.
No, I get that. No, I get DMs from Muslims. It's funny.
Yeah, but
I do to support the brothers. I just don't start lives. That's about it.
Well, I'll tell you what, like I said, I've taken up enough of your time. You've given me a lot to work with, and I appreciate it.
One more source, answeringislam.org. Go to that.
Islam.org.
Answeringislam.org.
Answeringislam.org. Okay, thank you very much.
Put together by Sam Shamoon, David Wood, and a few more. These are the arguments we run. Most of them, like 90% of them, they're not new. They are. We're standing on the shoulders of giants, like David Wood and Sam Shamoon and all of them. So.
Okay. Yeah, I like Sam Shamoon, even though we deviate theologically. I still think he's a very powerful debater, man. That he's so quick.
Yeah.
All right, God bless. Hey, God bless you, so Constantine.
Thanks for having me,
my friend.
Thanks for having me up.
God bless you, Constantine.
God bless.
It's good meeting you all.
You too, man.
Thanks for having me up, Chris. I got to get back to work here, but I think your best friend is. Your best friend is here now. So.
Running from the heritage, DJ.
Yo, Chris.
What's up, Mr. JP?
Why'd you give that man that beating, bro? That was a beating, bro. That was bullying, bro. That was bullying. Like I felt redeemed, bro, because they talked so much trash. In that moment, he couldn't talk anymore. He was just That was a punching bag. I felt bad. I felt bad for the guy. I felt bad. I was like, yo, this is a beating. This is a complete beating. Like what this guy did.
Chris started punching down on the man, dog.
Nah, it was bad. And then Chris just kept going.
They asked me to do that debate.
Bro, there was no grace shown. Like just when you think Chris would let up. He was like, yeah, stop looking at your phone and debate me like a man. It's like, whoa. It's like, whoa. I'm like, dang, bro, this is savagery, bro. It's like, yo. I'm like, dang.
Hey, JP, when you debate Hebrew Israelites, you have to have your game on, and you have to talk the talk. You got to be able to talk that smack in the debate. If you're getting, if somebody's able to do that to you, man, you're own. Like that's what the Hebrew Israelites look for, isn't it?
Yeah, they look for your weakness. They think you're weak, so they gonna, especially if they think you're a white boy too. They
Bro,
ain't
but why
gonna
would that guy take a debate on Jesus being God, bro? Like, but yo, Chris, today I was debating. Finally, I was able to debate that barking dog, common sense Christianity. You know who that is?
Oh, no.
Common Sense Christianity is one of the top Unitarian guys. Like, he's a Unitarian. Common Sense Christianity.
Oh, he's the top guy. He's
friends with metaphysics Mike.
Is that Sean guy? No, he's the Kingdom guy.
Yeah, yo, bro, I smacked that bum around so hard, bro. I took him to Hebrews 1, and I showed him how Christ is the same nature, the exact imprint of the Father, right? This man's gonna take me to Romans 9 and says we'll be like Christ is. No, yes, we'll be like Christ is because Christ has a glorified body. But Hebrews chapter 1 says the Christ is the exact nature of the Father. It's talking about two different things. What a rat that guy is, bro. Smacked him around. He couldn't deal with Hebrews 1. And then I was debating that Muslim.
Man,
and I was taking
even a Muslim.
Yeah, I was taking it kind of easy. Like I was letting the show roll. But then once Word and I hit me up privately. He said, all right, JP, enough's enough. Stop playing with your food. I was like, all right, cool. I took him to Hebrews 1 and it was game over right there and then. He couldn't deal with it either.
I see. So the Word and I was watching. He seen you're sitting there and he seen you're just pushing the vegetables to the side. And Word was like, nah, JP, clean that plate. Clean that plate. Don't be leaving anything sitting there.
And Daniel, he's a sophist, so he's gonna switch it and flop around and talk. I was like, come on, JP, time to put him to bed. Time to put the women and children to bed and let's go get lunch, bro. I'm telling you. Like, JP turned it on him. But that common sense guy, he's trash, bro. Like, I took him though to that 1 Corinthians 10 and 8 and 10, and then I took him to that Numbers 21. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know what to do with it. He's trash though. Bree Love in the house? Is Bree Love in the house?
I know she finally come up here. What up, Bree?
Y'all had me on mute for a minute.
And last time I checked, everybody else could unmute their mic themselves.
I didn't want to interrupt the discussion. But yeah, I just wanted to come up and say, hey, brothers, it's been a minute. So.
What do you mean it's been a minute? We always talk, my last show.
No, I know, but I was sick last time, remember?
Oh, that's true.
Bree used to have some popping lives and stuff. Now she don't even go live no more. Like,
they be annoying word, like no cap. I just was on live earlier and I crashed out. Like, oh my god.
You crashed out, sis?
Yeah, on these Muslimas, they keep trying to play with me. Like, hold on, ain't nothing sweet over here. Yeah, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And yeah, God bless y'all. I'm gonna probably drop because I don't feel like debating anymore.
No, stay on, sister. Stay on. You're not going nowhere. Fellowship.
I'm running, man.
Nah, you're not running. Chill out. It's only 11:30 out here.
Okay, I could stay.
Yeah, it's only 11:30.
I can't say nothing because I'm gonna dip in about 15 minutes.
Bro, why you running? Word?
I'm running.
Yeah, this guy.
You know when you start off the week sleepy and tired, when you go to it makes for a long week. Yeah.
You going to debate that guy though, Word? You gonna confirm that debate or no? The Muslim guy debated?
Prophet Daniel, I don't know. Like I said, starting January, I'm gonna do because I got offered 3 debates already. So starting in January, I might go, 1 or 2 in January, couple in February, work my way up.
Yeah. And that was the first. That was my first debate against a Muslim, technically speaking.
He ain't real Muslim either.
That's the thing, though, bro. He got upset when I called him a Shia. Did you catch that?
Yeah. Yeah. I was going because I really came up to talk to him because And I was gonna ask him, what gives you the authority to interpret scripture the way you do? Because I remember when I asked him that when he came to my thing, he was like, "Well, I do it. I've written so many papers and books." I'm like, "Bro, that don't give you authority to interpret scriptures the way you think you can interpret them." He has no standards. He has no, and that was just gonna highlight that he don't have no standard in how he's interpreting these scriptures except by his own interpretation. Which
I gotta give him credit on this. He's one of the few Muslims that is willing to go by. Like, there's two sets of Muslims: the Muslims that say the Bible's all fake and the Bible doesn't teach Jesus as God, and the Muslims that say the Bible's false altogether because they know the Bible teaches Jesus as God. So I like dealing with Muslims that think the Bible doesn't teach Jesus as God, because at least I can debate them with the scriptures. If there's a Muslim that believes the Bible is fake, therefore they know it teaches he's God, that now you have to deal with essentially the Islamic dilemma. Today I was debating a Muslim, Chris. I don't know if you were there for that, or Bree. This guy said the Torah was corrupted twice. He said it was corrupted 1,000 years before Jesus. Then Jesus got a new one, like a new he retrieved the Torah uncorrupted, and then it got corrupted again. So that was hilarious. It's on my YouTube channel. Y'all should go check that joint out, man. This man said the Torah got corrupted twice. Crazy.
That's wild. Bunch of double.
But we got another person up here on the stage. I don't even know what your name is, man. How you doing?
I think his name is Greek.
Yes, my friend. Greek. It's called in Greek. It says Grekos. It simply means
Right,
Greek.
so,
he's a believer. He's a Trinitarian.
Yes, and what I say when I go to different debates with Muslims, actually I was in Libiano's channel, and he was using to a non-speaking Greek the Greek Septuagint for the Deuteronomy 22, 28, 29, and he was saying that
It wasn't even me, man. It wasn't even me. That was JP.
Yo,
That was JP,
dang, Chris, that wasn't even me.
Hey,
That was,
man, you call me out all the time on your
Chris,
live, man. You call me out quick on your live.
Dang,
Man,
Chris, I try to stay quiet, bro.
Man, you put it on me all the time on your live, so you
No,
getting
but you
it
be
on
having
that
me
one.
crying because you're just a savage with that. You be having me in tears because you don't got no heart, Chris. You don't got no heart.
What you saying you did?
Well, look, the thing says request if you disagree. That's what it says. Request if you disagree. If you request up and you do not disagree, then you're disrespecting the panel. Bree and Word were requested here, so please be respectful. How's it going, Omar?
Hey, what's going on? Is that JP?
How's it going? Do you agree with this? Jesus is God. Do you agree with that?
No, that's blasphemy according to Deuteronomy 6:4.
All right, thank you for your honesty. Carry on, fellas.
Yeah.
So why would it be blasphemy according to Deuteronomy 6:4?
I mean, why would the Johannine Jesus get stoned by the Jews when he said, right? Because they knew that he was blaspheming.
So he was claiming to be God then, right?
According to John, yeah. I mean, obviously I don't believe that, but that's what your book says.
Oh, excellent. So then you believe that the Bible teaches that Jesus is God then, correct?
I would say I believe that the John, I would say John believes that he's a lesser deity. Yes.
But he's teaching that he's God, correct?
In a lesser sense, yeah.
Oh, you Libiano's little boy, are you? So is he the most high? Is he the most high in a sense too?
No. So when I'm saying that, I'm basically basing off. So how come Matthew, Mark, and Luke wouldn't talk about it? Is basically
so Mark doesn't think that Jesus is God.
He calls him the Son of God, but I mean, does he ever use those kind of words?
What is the Son of God? So if I was to read the Quran, would I see a verse that says, if the most merciful was to have a son, I would be the first of his worshipers? Would I read a verse like that in your Quran?
If I was
If the most merciful had a son, I would be the first of his worshipers. Would I find that in your Quran?
Yeah, yes. Why not?
Oh, I would. So even Muhammad believed that if Allah did have a son, then that son would be worthy of worship, correct?
You have to go back and look at the Arabic.
Okay,
pull it up and all.
about the Arabic from what's different about the Arabic than what I said?
So basically, if I remember correctly, if it's the same verse, Surah Yunus, is it chapter 10?
Sure, whatever.
Look, I don't remember. I don't know the verse, but
I think it could be a different one. That might not even be close, but go ahead.
Sure, yeah. So anyways, if I remember the verse, it's basically a negative, a nafi, basically showing that it's a conditional, which is an impossibility. Anyone who knows the Arabic language knows that it's something that impossible, that the Lord of the universe will not have a human son.
Okay, so, but if the most merciful did have a son, then Muhammad would worship him, though, correct?
So it's like one of those conditionals. Like if I could fly, I would fly to Italy and buy a pizza. So it doesn't really.
Yeah. So no. The statement would be true on both regards. So if the most merciful had a son, then Muhammad would worship him, correct?
No. So I disagree with your interpretation of the verse. That's the whole point of it, saying that it's such an impossibility.
How am I interpreting it? I'm reading it.
Yeah, so you're reading in English, so you have to ask somebody who speaks Arabic or study Arabic yourself and figure it out.
So go ahead, read the Arabic.
You're not doing justice to. I don't have a Quran on me. You're not doing justice. Even me, I'm not doing justice to the text unless you want to pull it up. I'll read it.
Oh,
I can
so
read
Arabic. If Jesus is identified as the Son of God, would he be worthy of worship?
So it depends. So if you go back to the first century,
what do you mean depends?
Let's ask him what it means.
What if we ask Muhammad?
Yeah, ask him what.
What if we ask Muhammad if Allah had a son, would that son be worthy of worship? What would Muhammad say?
He would say it's a unconditional impossibility.
He would say yes, if Allah did have a son, he would be worthy of worship, but Allah does not have a son. Correct?
You would be right if it didn't have the if, but unfortunately, it's the.
What do you mean? I would be right if it didn't have an if. I just give you the answer.
Right. So can I answer your first question about Jesus, Son of God? Like, what did that mean to the Jews in the first century? Like, if we go to the first century and we pull up to a circle of Jews, what would they? The Son of God means a righteous worshiper, right? A righteous man, like David. Yes, it does. That's fine to give you a Son of God back then. I have no problem with that.
And you believe that the Gospel of Mark again does not teach the deity of Jesus, correct?
That's what I believe. Yes, sir. The Gospel of Mark. Yeah, actually, I believe that.
So what happened? What happened in Mark chapter 14, I believe it is, when Jesus is standing in front of the high priest and is questioned.
Okay.
14:62.
He's like, what did you say? Go ahead, Works. Did you say something?
Nah, I was just
he was confirming that I was right. It's in Mark 14. He just said verse 60 to 62, I believe.
Oh, okay, nice, yeah. So basically, yeah, man. When he was basically, they asked him, "Are you the king?" And then he said, "Suleges," right? If you say so. He didn't.
Well, let me go ahead and just read it here. I'll read from 60 and down. And it said, the high priest stood in the midst and asked Jesus, saying, "Do you answer nothing? What is it these men testify against you?" But he kept silent, answering nothing. And again, the high priest asked him, saying to him, "Are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed?" Jesus says, "I am, and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power, coming with the clouds of heaven." The high priest tore his clothing and said, "We need, what further need do we have of witnesses? You have heard the blasphemy." What blasphemy did he give? Was it that he said that he was the Son of the Blessed?
Oh, who said it? Who said it's blasphemy? The high priest.
The high priest.
Okay, so are you
said
talking
it was
about
blasphemy.
Okay, of the
So
Jews?
what was blasphemous? What was blasphemous in that statement? Him saying that he is the Son of the Blessed?
If according to their definition, no. I would like to look at the verse.
What do you
though.
mean? That's Mark
I'll give it
chapter
to you.
14.
Yeah, I don't.
Verses 61 and 62. Again, I'll read it to you. And it says, again, the high priest asked him and saying to him, are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed? Now we know that it is not blasphemy to say that you're the Messiah. So the only other statement that he made is the Son of the Blessed. So the answer that Jesus gives is, I am, and you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of power and coming with the clouds of heaven. The high priest, the Jewish guy, tore his clothing and said, what further need do we have of witnesses? You have heard the blasphemy. So what was the blasphemy that Jesus admitted to in that question?
Yeah. So this I find it kind of peculiar because I know the Greeks had many deities. So why would they care about
the question? Can we answer the question?
Okay, so what is the blasphemy that so the Jews are basically trying to pin it on him that he's doing blasphemy in front of the Greeks or what? Who's I don't
This is
remember.
the high priest in front of the Jewish council,
the Sanhedrin
deciding and saying that this is blasphemy. What was blasphemy? Him saying that he is the Christ or the Son of the Blessed? Which one?
The Christ is not blasphemy. That just was made the Son of the Blessed.
So
yeah. So David is the son of God too. So that doesn't make sense.
So
to me.
again, is when Jesus said that he's the Son of the Blessed, is that the blasphemous statement that he was making?
I would have to go read it. If you're saying so, then yeah, then
read it.
Point. I don't have a Bible.
Read it.
I've
actually read it for you twice.
Okay, well, I would have to read the whole chapter, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I'll say I don't know for that specific one. Yeah.
So again, going back to the first century, in understanding when Jesus is identified as the Son of God, that is a claim of deity because we see the high priest saying that this is blasphemy when he agrees that he is the Son of the Blessed. So in Mark chapter 1, this is before verse 14, when he introduces the Gospel of Mark, he says, in the beginning, the Gospel of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. And then it goes into, as it was written, and then it shows that the messenger will prepare the way for Yahweh, the messenger being John, and the one that he was preparing the way for was Jesus. So Mark 1 identifies Jesus as the Son of God, and by verse 5 or 6, identifies him as Yahweh, the one that would be coming to his people. And he doesn't talk about Jesus being God, you said. But this is in the first chapter, in the first 6 verses.
The first verse, even. I'll give you the Son of God, but I'm telling you, why is David called the Son of God? Today I've begotten thee.
Let me, Omar. Can we agree?
I don't get it.
Can we agree that most of the Jews believe that they were the Son of God?
That's fine, yeah. For in terms of like worship, practicing and worshiping their God, right?
Right.
Right. Sure. Exactly.
So why? Just think about it. Why on earth did the high priest get so inflammatory and mad to where he ripped his clothes when Jesus said that he was the Son of God?
So that's a very honestly, I would like. So if this is true, it shows like this mark in Jesus is trying to probably say some kind of deity. If this is true, so then I would have to throw this out.
So you have to throw out Mark. So you have to throw out
verse, this verb is interpolation, most likely.
Well, hold on. We're not interpreting nothing. We're not interpreting.
That's what I would say.
Because the high priest, he said it and he meant it in a certain way. That's not a general way of what they all believe, that in what type of sense that they all are sons of God. So when Jesus said this, and he was referencing Daniel 7 verse 9, that this divine figure that rides on the clouds and come up to the Ancient of Days that's sitting on the throne, they're both divine in some sense. And since Jesus is claiming to be that figure, that means that he's committing blasphemy, because they had this idea and knew that the Son of Man from this vision is also divine and worthy of worship. They just didn't believe it was Jesus.
Yeah, I'll say I have no problem saying, yeah, this specific verse, I haven't read it, bro. I'll be honest with you. Or I haven't read it. I've read all of Mark, but I don't remember reading it like the way you guys are reading it. That's interesting. Yeah, so I'll go back and read it, my brother.
Because you just got to look at the reaction that everybody around them had when they
yeah.
So it's not in the same context as every other person that's a Jew that believe they are sons or children of God. It's a certain context within this verse to let us know that Jesus was actually claiming to be that divine son, the divine son that's worthy of worship.
Then that would suck for us, because I would say Mark was definitely the closest Mark and Q that we have left to the Injil. So, but if they have stuff like that, and then gonna have to launch it out with the rest of them, no offense. And John, the prophecies, but it's weird because.
But why would you have to do that? Why would you have to?
Because that's blasphemy. That's kufr. That's shirk. You know what I mean?
I understand, but this is what our Bible teaches.
Yeah. But I mean, that's interesting. No, yeah, I've never looked at it like that way. I definitely appreciate that, brother. But I mean, it doesn't make sense, because the I am statements and like the Johannine Jesus, and you have Matthew, Mark, Luke, and then like the John statements are really powerful. Like in Mark, it's not clear, right? He's eating, he's drinking. John omits most of that stuff. Even Mark 10:18, Matthew. Do you know who John Barton is?
You say John Martin?
Yes. No, John Barton.
Yeah.
Barton.
Yeah. He said it's dishonest of Matthew to change Mark 10:18 the way he did.
Okay, so that to me, it doesn't matter, because he's not our authority. Our authority lies within the early church and the understanding of the early church, not some scholar that comes 2,000 years later that puts his interpretation into what he thinks what was going on at the time. And I think that you would agree, right, Omar? Even as a Muslim, your authority is the Sahaba and the early scholars of Islam, of course, right? Exactly. You wouldn't take from these guys that are just putting their impression into the text 1,400 years later. You would only go back to your scholars, of course, right?
Yeah, 100%. And then but I wouldn't completely dismiss it too. I'm like my teacher. He teaches me.
You would. Yeah, you would. If they say something totally contrary to what you believe as a Muslim, you would throw it all the way out.
Can I test this theory, Omar? So a guy named Yasser Qadi, right?
Yeah. I don't like that guy.
Oh, but he's a scholar of Islam, though, right?
No, but we don't call him a scholar. You guys do.
I know you don't, but
good point.
He is legitimately a scholar of Islam, though, right? He does actually have the credentials, right?
Not by any Islamic university.
Come on, man. But yeah, see, point proven now, right, Omar?
Yeah, he does. I mean, he literally studied in Iraq and everywhere.
Okay, yeah. So that would be a pure authority. So basically, we would take his words and kind of put it against the proof, right? So you're a scholar and my scholar. So we'll take John Barton, put it against the proof, and then. But you cannot deny that Matthew did change Mark 10:18.
So just 1 second, though.
He's ready. So that doesn't mean that you don't get the same concept out of what he's saying.
Would you think that Matthew taught that Jesus was God?
Matthew, yeah. Unless you're deeming for sure.
So Matthew teaches that Jesus is God. John teaches Jesus is God. Mark teaches that Jesus is God. Would you say that Luke identifies Jesus as God?
So when I say God, not Yahweh, right? You understand, like a lesser God.
Can we clear
up? Okay, so like,
you want me to clarify the way my professor?
Omar.
I
only want to say 10 seconds, and I'm gonna like shut up. I actually got to go to bed. Can we drop the lesser deity thing? Because these are monotheistic Jews that we're talking about here. There is no such thing as a lesser deity in the aspect of God and worshiping him. There is, you can't be God in a sense. They didn't play that. There is no such thing as a lesser God when you're talking about monotheistic Jews and what they believe. Their Shema, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God is one. They will be committing blasphemy if they thought anybody was a lesser of a deity than the one that they already worship. That's not a concept in Judaism. Then none of them believe in lesser deities like that.
Well, I agree with that. So you would have to show that the 4 Gospels have not been influenced by Pauline Christians, that they're actually written by Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the apostles and the 2.
The early church attests to it.
Yeah, but that's circular reasoning, right? So these are the guys who got to the Paul.
No. The early church. So the early church fathers attest to the writers and the authenticity of our scriptures. How would we know who the authors of your Quran were? Would we go to your early scholars in the Hadith and whatnot to find out who they were?
The Hadith, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, but so you would have to go to your early scholars. You would have to go to your early scholarship to find out who wrote the Quran, right?
Or how it was preserved.
Yes, exactly.
Right? When we say we say that's circular.
Why can't we do the same? Why can't we do the same thing?
You can, but you have a gap missing 100, 200. How many years?
No, we don't.
Isa alayhi salam to Codex Sinaiticus.
No, we don't. Omar, check this out. Do you think Muslims are the only ones that was able to memorize and then pass down information orally?
No, for sure. Yeah, I know.
Okay, so even if we don't have a manuscript that goes like an original one, even though we do have early manuscripts that goes all back at least to the late 1st century, that doesn't mean that people didn't pass these things around orally. See, you can grant oral tradition in your religion, but you don't want to grant it in our tradition. We do have an oral tradition also that goes parallel alongside all of our manuscript evidence, because we have early church fathers that fills in the gaps in between the manuscripts.
Right. So no problem, granted, but can you actually provide isnad the way we have sanad? Like we have 12 chains for one hadith.
That's not a thing. Even okay, this isnad thing didn't even develop to 200 years after your prophet. There wasn't no code. There wasn't a set thing that said that you must have an isnad that goes back to your prophet when your prophet was there. That never existed until after your prophet was gone, and then they wanted to trace back things. So this was a retroactive thing as an isnad chain. Nobody did that. That's not a common thing. Y'all came up with that methodology, and it's flawed, because anything that goes back to Muhammad and is negative, or anyone that's negative that had a negative view on Muhammad that probably has a say-so on Muhammad, you wouldn't put them in a chain. So now it's a biased confirmation chain that y'all make up, because there's no way every single person that came across Muhammad had agreed with him and then spoke fondly of him. No way, no how. Okay. So if they disagreed with Muhammad in any single way, you would say they're not authoritative, they're not good. We're not going to put them in no chain. So we're only going to take the good people that talk fondly about our prophet and then put up a chain and make it go back to our prophet.
Not really, brother. So for example, even Allah, forget the hadith, the Quran, Allah rebukes Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, got angry with him and abasa wa tawalla, with the old man.
Oh, man.
Corrected him. Okay. So we have to be honest. Yeah, I don't mind, but we have to be able to compare it, right? We have to compare and contrast. So you're saying,
hey, Omar, is there anyone in these hadith chains that did not like your prophet or talk ill will about your prophet?
Hey, word. I got a question. Hey, Omar, I got a question for you. Can you show me a written isnad of any hadith 100 years before Bukhari collected it?
Show me a isnad.
Any manuscript of one
before Bukhari.
Yes.
100 years before. Okay, I'm sure there are. Yeah.
Okay. Can you?
I don't know any specific ones. We have sanad of hadith. There's no doubt about that.
That's what you say. I know you say that.
Yeah.
But I need evidence. Saying something and providing evidence is two different things.
So 100 years before Bukhari.
Yeah, I want an isnad of that hadith that goes back to your prophet,
like a manuscript.
It's not how. Yeah, because if not, I could just say Bukhari made up that isnad. Prove that he didn't.
Let me phone a friend. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have another device, but those things I really don't memorize. But I know we have. We have the works of Imam Malik, who's before Bukhari. Yes, we do. Imam the Muwatta.
Imams is Imam Malik's Mutawatir in the Hadith collection of Sahih al-Bukhari?
Some hadith are, not all. No, so his was before.
He has his own collection, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I asked for Bukhari, right? Because that's where we get your scribes. That's where we get the scribes from, right?
Yeah, but you do know there's hadith in Bukhari and Muslim that interlap, right? And you know what I mean?
Yeah, I still need the isnad that goes back to the time of your prophet to show that these people knew who the writers of your Quran were.
So you don't. So that's really easy. So you know who Imam Malik? He was a student of who? He was a student of Nafi, and Nafi was a student of Abdullah bin Umar. Abdullah bin Umar was a direct
Can you prove that instead of just saying it?
Okay, yeah, sure. You want ilm rijal, like you want books of hadith? I'll give you a bunch of them.
Yeah, more tradition.
Again, hadiths come after that time. I want evidence from that time.
So I gave you Muwatta Imam Malik. What else do you want?
No, I want. Okay, who did Malik learn from?
Yeah, he learned from Nafi.
Okay, do you have anything from Nafi?
Yes.
Give me something.
Muwatta, oh, like specific his book. Well, khalas, we have the Imam Malik's book.
Okay, but I don't want Imam Malik's book. I want his teacher. Did he have anything?
I'm sure you got to look around for it, brother.
Okay, who taught him? Who taught Malik's teacher?
The son of Umar bin Khattab.
Do we have anything from him?
The first hadith in Riyadh al-Salihin, in the barely.
Okay, give us the manuscript then.
Like, I don't memorize names of manuscript, my brother. I'm sure if you really
you don't have it. You don't have it, Omar. Every statement that you're making is a statement that you don't have evidence for. You're just making the statement.
No, but look, this is what you're missing. I'm saying I give it to you. I'm granting you. But I'm saying when you have contradictions, that's the problem. Does that make sense? That's the issue that I have. So you're telling me you want me to accept Jesus, Son of God, because he was in front of the
So just one second. Contradictions aren't a bad thing. Not in your worldview.
Of course, come on, my guy. So you're telling me if there's two contradictory accounts where it's either one is true or they're both false, right? That's also a possibility. We all, right? You're saying that's not a problem?
Okay,
in
so
both of our tradition, that's a problem.
No. I said it's not a problem in your view.
It's a problem in both of our views.
In your Quran, I believe it says, no bearer of burden shall bear the burden of another. Correct?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Does it say that in your Quran?
No bearer. Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Okay, so no bearer of burden will bear the burden of another. That's point blank. You bear your own sins. You don't bear the sins of another. Correct?
Exactly. As long as you don't influence them to do haram, you're not the mean for them.
What do you mean? Whoa. What do you mean?
If I go and pick up my friend and I'm like, let's go to a bar and let's go smoke, chill with chicks, of course I'm going to get a part of the sin, my boy.
Oh, just 1 second though.
Come on.
Didn't your Quran just say no bearer of sin would bear the sin of another? That's what it said, right?
Exactly. That is correct. Yeah.
So, but you will bear the burden of another. But you will bear the burden of another, though, right?
If I influence him, bro. This is not that hard, bro. Come on.
There's your P and not P.
Not really, but if that makes you happy, bro, whatever. But
either you do bear the burdens of another or you don't. Which one is it?
If I go buy my friend a pack of cigarettes and I give it to him, isn't God going to punish me for that? Isn't that like?
Please answer my question.
I just did. I'm telling you, no.
Which one is it?
Both is both.
Or in the context. Can't be both. That's a contradiction. That's a contradiction. As I said, in your view, you don't care about contradictions.
But I just explained to you. But if you don't like my tafsir, so is this internal critique, brother? Like, are you taking from my hadith?
He don't like his tafsir. You got your own tafsir, Omar?
No, that's from the tafsir. Prove if there's another tafsir, show me. I got Ibn Kathir or Tafsir Sa'adi.
The way you said my tafsir, I thought you wrote your own.
No, bro. I don't have my own. I'm just a layman, basic. I don't even call myself a student of knowledge. I have a few books I read. That's basically it. You know what I mean?
Omar, why do you? Okay, can I show you another contradiction?
Well, and
it's from what you just said. Why do you go to hadith, or why do you go to tafsir?
Because that's the wisdom. Because Allah told us to take and benefit from people of knowledge. Well,
my bad. I thought the Quran said it was a clear book and a fully detailed explanation of all things.
Right, but it's going to tell me how to make a car or make a cake.
Okay, so I'll grant you that the Quran, when it says it's a fully detailed book or explanation of all things, that it means all things explained in the Quran.
Exactly, Hidayah, guy. Okay. Yes, exactly.
So then, if it's fully detailed about what it says in the Quran, why do you need to go outside the Quran when you got full details in the Quran?
Who else but the Messenger of Allah to explain the hadith? I don't get that.
Can you answer my question?
Yeah, sure. So we believe revelation of wahi, hadith is revelation.
Okay, so
that's part of wahi to obey Muhammad. It says the Quran, right? You just said the word of Allah. Ati Allah, ati Rasul. Obey Allah and obey His messenger.
Is the Quran a fully detailed book of all things?
But hold on, Chris. Why don't we see that revelation inside of the Quran then?
I just gave you ayat of Quran. I just gave you one.
No, but you're telling us we got to go outside of the Quran to get the information about the Quran when the Quran say it is a fully explained detail about everything.
So how about
it's not? That's why we have to go to the hadith and the tafsir.
So if it says obey Allah and His messenger, what does that mean to you?
No, I'm saying deal with what we saying because you said that
I'm dealing with that. I'm giving you a verse.
No, you're going to something else. But the Quran say it itself is a detailed explanation of all things. But in order for you to know, you got to go to the tafsir and other things to know what the Quran is saying. So the Quran itself isn't a detailed explanation of all things. You have to go to this other book outside of it.
So so the actions, the sayings.
There's another contradiction.
The Prophet is all memorized. It's all there, saved, brothers, for you.
That's another contradiction. That's another contradiction, Omar.
Okay, how about this? So why don't you explain? You guys don't even know when your God died. Isn't that the biggest contradiction?
That's why. See,
all right, brother Chris, I gotta drop, man.
Come on, brother.
Omar, have a good night, man.
Come on, bro.
It looks like I follow
you.
Too,
Omar, you have a good night, Omar.
Did he leave?
No, I dropped him. It was about time. It was a friendly watch your head on that one. He can come back at a different time.
Nah,
sometimes you get to a point where it's time to go.
Yeah, he a good sport though.
Yeah,
I do gotta drive though, brother Chris. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow, man. I might go live after work.
All right, man. I'll probably go live with you. I'm probably gonna go to bed soon because I haven't went to bed yet. So
yeah, you need to get some rest, bro. Great debate, man. You crushed it. You crushed it, man. I think I'm gonna re-listen to it while I'm working tomorrow.
To get all right, folks. God bless, man.
God bless.
All right, so JP, we have our favorite troll. Well, maybe not. We have a new person down there. Let me go ahead and bring him up here. What's up, Sammy? Bye, Sammy. I guess we don't have Sammy.
You watched his own head.
Yeah, he watched his own head on that one. Yeah, Omar, you're cool, man. It's just sometimes you get to a point in the discussion where it's over, and I think it was over tonight. We can start a new discussion at a different time. You were up here for a while. We had a few different discussions on the roll. And yeah, Romola will hold that to your word. So JP, you going live tonight? Or you just done for the night after this?
Nah, your boy is tired, bro. I've been live. I've been live all day today.
And that's it. Man, I had to go get my mother-in-law last night from the airport. And then when I got home, I jumped on the Word Nice live until like 1 o'clock in the morning. I got off that and jumped on another live until like 2:30 in the morning. And then I had to work at 4. So I stayed awake and I went to work at 4 until noon today. Got off, I come home and I had to take my grandchildren to something today. So I went and did that, and then I had to come back and do the debate. So I haven't slept since Friday. So I'm gonna need a good sleep tonight.
Yeah, same here, brother. Same here.
So maybe I'll just call it quits now. Then that's pretty good. I went an hour 20 tonight, even after
and you
the
had
debate.
and you just finished the debate, so you gotta get some rest.
So we good tonight. Anyway, I'll shut her down. I'll play the One Way Apologetic tune for you over here.
I will not enable your silly old fables. You lie on my God, then I'm flipping some tables. Bible, Quran, makes no difference, I'll beg you. Bro, I don't hate, trying to give you a breakthrough. Cause it one way, Jesus is God. Ay, apologetics, one way, ay, apologetics, God bless us. There's one way, Jesus is God. Apologetics, one way, ay, apologetics. Salam, mama, see y'all, Jesus is God. You can try to change my mind if you think that's a rhyme. Don't manifest on me, buddy, just be still and be calm. Cause today I'm gonna teach you about the real of Islam. Just keep it your seer and I'll make you a kafir. Hus gon' be Kabir, Habibi should be Shakir. Who's the one true God? Yours cannot compare. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, why I have no fear. Hey, step up and see if all the energy remains. Spend your days in the mental gym and never see no gains. I'm yet to see the evidence to represent your claims. Now I'm starting to think everything you ever said is strange. The scriptures that I'm reading don't need anyone to change. Anything they say so you don't get to run away. Just know that I'ma hold you to whatever you might say. And God is great, I'm ready for you any time of day. I will not enable your silly old fables. You lie on my God, then I'm flipping some tables. Bible, Quran, makes no difference, I'll bake you. Bro, I don't hate, trying to give you a breakthrough. Cause it's one way, Jesus God. Hey, apologetics, one way, hey, apologetics, God bless us. There's one way, Jesus is God. Apologetics, one way, hey, apologetics, God.